plan for the mega fight with you and Crawford for 150?
If we can make it at that weight division, I mean, whatever weight division I'm at, if wherever we still boxing at the same time, let's do it. I'm down to fight any one of these motherfuckers. I ain't here for the money. I'm here to win. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, the money already here, and I got it already, and it's gonna come. Mo gonna come, but why would I get in the ring over, an injury? You know what I'm saying?
After Canelo's defeat, Jermell Charlo publicly expressed interest in facing Terence Crawford in the future. Meanwhile, Crawford made it clear that he isn't thinking far ahead. He explained that he feels strong, healthy, and focused only on his next challenge, choosing to handle his career one fight at a time.
I don't know,
it's not something you think about. You're just going
I always take one fight at a time. One fight at a time. I feel great. I'm healthy, and like I said, I'm looking for.
Crawford added that if he were to end his career with a 42-0 record, he'd walk away satisfied, knowing the choice was made together with his team. He reflected that he's already cemented his legacy and accomplished all his goals. So stepping away from boxing would simply mean finishing his journey on his own terms, without regrets or anything left to prove.
Not fight again, you'd be undefeated at 42-0. Would that satisfy you?
If that was the decision that I made, that my team made, for me to walk away, away from the sport, then of course I'll be, content and happy, because that's the decision that I made. I'm not gonna make something, that I'm not comfortable with. I had a great career. I've done some tremendous things in the sport of boxing. I made a lot of history. What can I not be proud of if I walked away from the sport right now? I don't have no regrets, because everything that I did it my way. So if I was to walk away from the sport right now, I wouldn't have no reason to hold my head.
Another fighter rumored to want a shot at Terence Crawford is David Benavidez. Crawford noted that Benavidez is a naturally big man, possibly too large to continue making the 168-pound limit, appearing more like a solid 175-pound contender. He pointed out that size differences matter and should be considered realistically, yet maintained full confidence in his own ability, saying he believes he can overcome anyone who stands across from him in the ring.
Body at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. He ain't even at 168. When you look
right now, it's at 175. Yeah,
he probably can't even make 168 no. But when you look at these fights, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, say, all right, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off. Me personally, I believe in my skills and my abilities. I could be in.
Or Jose Benavidez Sr., the father and trainer of David Benavidez, mentioned that Terence Crawford's coach, Brian Bomac McIntyre, isn't interested in that matchup at the moment. He clarified that their current priority is David's upcoming fight on November 22nd in Riyadh, and any future plans will be discussed afterward. Jose added that their goal is to make history by pursuing the biggest possible fights, and if Crawford's camp is genuinely on board, they'd be more than willing to make it happen for the fans.
I heard Bomac that he does not want Crawford to fight David Benavidez. So right now, I believe that we have a tough fight, man. November 22nd. I don't want to get ahead of my fight, and we're super focused 100% on getting to Riyadh and making that fight happen and keep proving ourselves and show the people who David is. Let's see what happens after that. Like I said, I will tell you though that it will be easy because we'll be fighting. If everything goes well, we'll take a couple of weeks off, and the weight will not be a problem because we will already there, kind of. So, at the end of the day, it's my job as a manager is to get them the best fights and train them as a trainer. And we want to make history, brother. So, and if the people want that fight, and people think that that's a good fight, and if Bomac and Terence Crawford want that fight, why not? We're here to please the fans. And
Jose Benavidez Sr. admitted that a potential clash between Terence Crawford and his son wouldn't be an easy night for Crawford. He described David as the Mexican monster, emphasizing his youth, size, and non-stop punching style, something he says sets him apart from Canelo Alvarez. While giving full respect to Crawford as the current pound-for-pound king, Jose cautioned that David's power and relentless pressure could pose serious problems for an older Crawford.
And relentless pressure could be too much for an aging Crawford.
Give them what they want. You know, I think David's too big for Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford will be like 38 years old, you know? I mean, it will not be the same as Canelo, man. We know David comes in and throws a lot of punches and put the pressure. And no disrespect to Terence Crawford, he's the best pound for pound. He's in the books to do history. He did something that nobody could do. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the Mexican monster, you know? David's young, strong, super big for Terence Crawford. And, you know, even Terence Crawford said that Kowalski's or whatever hit harder than Canelo because the power's not there anymore. With David, it's a different.
Jeff Mayweather commented that David Benavidez is the kind of fighter most boxers try to avoid, which only increases his value and reputation in the sport. He added that if the financial offer is right, a matchup with Terence Crawford could be possible, ultimately depending on Crawford's willingness to take it. Jeff also mentioned that for Canelo Alvarez, the smartest next step after a defeat would be to pursue a rematch, giving him a chance to restore his image and quiet the critics.
Same time, I mean, Benavidez is also the one guy that nobody's willing to fight. And if nobody's willing to fight him, that makes his value go up. And so the thing is that if you get the right guy that is willing to pay for that, and I mean I don't see him saying that, okay, well, we can't afford to fight this guy. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that fight can happen if it's a fight that I think Bud want to entertain.
And what if you're Canelo? I think the only thing you could possibly want is that rematch. You get that a little bit of that.
Eddie Hearn shared that a potential matchup between Terence Crawford and Jaron Boots Ennis could be the most exciting fight in American boxing right now. However, he noted that such a bout would require a huge payday to draw Crawford's interest. Hearn added that Crawford recognizes how talented and dangerous Boots is, not because he fears him, but because he sees in Boots a younger version of himself who's just waiting for the right stage to prove his greatness.
Crawford against Jaron Ennis, for me, is the best fight in American boxing. But it needs to be a payday for Crawford that would get him interested, because Crawford knows how good Boots is. And I'm not saying that Crawford thinks he's going to lose to Boots, but he knows that is a real fight. But for me, Boots is the new Crawford. We just got to go out and get the fights to show how great he is.
When asked whether he's still interested in a future fight with Terence Crawford, Jaron Boots Ennis brushed off the idea, explaining that his sole focus right now is his upcoming bout on October 11th. He said that thinking about anything else only creates distractions, so he's staying completely locked in on the task ahead and not concerning himself with outside talk for the moment.
Still a fight that you have interest in?
My main focus right now is October 11th. That's all I'm worried about. October 11th. I ain't worried about no outsiders. You know, I'm locked in. That's how when you don't pay attention to what you got in front of you and you think ahead. That's how things happen. You know, my main focus is October 11th. That's it.
And that wraps up today's video. What do you think about all these potential matchups? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video,